more about the Gentlesteps training process, because I think you know the the viewpoint out there from some people is that we show up, we install the system, we do the first training session, and then we leave and we never come back.
Right.
Now that's not what our customers will say, but that's what some of the competition will paint the picture out to be. So let's talk about what is reality.
Sure. Well, the reality is that we'll start off the first day. Obviously, the initial training is a necessary part of the system and what we do, and then from there, the customer takes the dog out 3 times a day, walks the dog around on a leash, and then each day the level on the collar is gradually increased. It's not a difficult thing to do. Again, with the link system, you just connect with your cell phone in order to make that change. And then basically, the correction just gradually builds day after day. It gets a little stronger, a little stronger, and a little stronger until you reach that point that the correction matters enough to your dog that they'll begin to avoid the boundary. And then from there, you begin a process of dropping the leash and letting them drag the leash under supervision, which is generally going to be 3 or 4 days. And again, elevating the level as needed. And then after 3 or 4 days of dragging the leash, you'll remove the leash and do another 3 or 4 days of close supervision, moving up again the level as needed. And then by the end of that time, the dogs are ready to be left by themselves. So it's kind of a fallacy, we say we're training your dog or you're training your dog.
Yeah.
The reality is the system is training your dog. It's basically classical conditioning if you ever had a Psych 101 class in college. And that's basically what the system does. And the system does all the reinforcing. And basically, the homeowner, pet owner, or us, all we're really doing is facilitating that training. The system itself is actually training the dog. So it's not that it's not important that someone be there, just to maximize the dog's learning situations and safety. But it's actually the system that's training the dog.
Sure. And of course, if somebody just says to us, you know what, we just don't have time, we are busy, we just want to come home and enjoy the dog, we don't want to have to run around doing this orientation stuff with them, we just want you guys to do it.
Right.
We offer a full training.
We do. And the difference between the full training and our unlimited free training, part of the unlimited free training is we do require that the customer be taking part of the training. We'll come out as much as we want, but all we ask is that they're making an effort at the training. If someone does not want to do training at all, then we will indeed, sell a 5-day package or whatever they want, and we will come out and do all the training, and they're not involved in the process. So
Sure.
we have, anything between, both of those options.
Yes. And I'm the sales guy, so I can tell you that I in the last 500 systems that we've sold, maybe 2 people have opted to do the full training.
Right.
And I know one of those people actually then canceled it after we did the first session.
Right, yeah. The response usually is, "Oh, is that all it is? Why would I pay you to come out to my house?" And it's kind of interesting. In fact, I almost think if we called people and followed up and said, "Yeah, we want to come out for another training," they would say, "Don't bother. My life is too busy. There's no reason for this. I have this under control." So
Exactly. And that can be a cumbersome process of scheduling those recurring training session appointments.
Oh, no doubt.
Giving access to the dog, making sure, to me, I think it's just, almost borderline absurdity that people would be led to believe that they need a trained professional to come out and do this.
Right.
I mean, to me, it's an insult to a dog trainer to say what we do is dog training. It's not. I mean, dog trainers do some pretty specialized things that are, to me, really cool.
Right.
And it certainly doesn't involve a dog fence.
Right. Right.
So, they can train to a dog fence, but it's kind of a waste of their talents.
It really is, because the fence in and of itself is foremost a training device.
Exactly.
It's designed to train the dog and continue to keep your dog trained. And so, it's not rocket science in getting a dog acclimated to one of these, as long as it's an adjustable system like ours, and you can do a process like the Gentlesteps. If you're doing the old-fashioned way where you're training with high correction levels and whatnot, you kind of need to have a professional trainer or someone there that's handled a dog before, because it can be very difficult. The dog starts to get scared, and you can have all kinds of training issues that way.
Sure.